Dana Jaya Prajajana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tira Manachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Tira Manachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha
Jaya Pranamissimo, 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 Jaya Pranamissimo.
Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Jaya Goranita, 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 Jaya Goranita.
Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Shila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Shila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, verse 24. Evam yukto rishikesha gudakesha bharata sevayor apyor madhye sthana priya vita rathamatam. So Sanjaya Uvacha.
Sanjaya Uvacha.
Sanjay said,
Sanjay said,
Evam,
Evam,
thus, Yuktaha, addressed, Rishikesha, Lord Krishna, Gudakeshana, by Arjuna, Bharata, O descendant of Bharat, Senayaha, of the armies, Upayoha, both, Madhya, in the midst, Stapanayatya, placing, Ratha, Uttam, the finest chariot. Translation. Sanjay said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of to both parties. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this verse, Arjuna is defined as Gudakesha. Gudakesha means sleep, and one who conquers sleep is called Gudakesha. Sleep also means ignorance. So Arjuna conquered both sleep and ignorance because of his friendship with Krishna. As a great devotee of Krishna, he could not forget Krishna even for a moment, because that is the nature of a devotee, either in waking or in sleep. A devotee of the Lord can never be free from thinking of Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes. Thus, a devotee of Krishna can conquer both sleep and ignorance simply by thinking of Krishna constantly. This is called Krishna consciousness or Samadhi. As Rishikesha, or the director of the senses and the mind of every living entity, Krishna could understand Arjuna's purpose in placing the chariot in the midst of the armies. Thus he did so and spoke as follows. Sanjay said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. So then, we can see that when the Pandavas came back for 14 years, going 13 years in forest, coming back, then they decide to for peace. So Krishna said that I will go and as a peace messenger, because Krishna wanted that the war does not take place, and it's whole Bharat will be involved. There is Mahabharata, So Krishna went to Hastinapur, and in the assembly everybody was sitting there, and Krishna is coming. Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, Dhritarashtra, Vidur, all the Duryodhana, Shakuni, and all the Kauravas. The assembly was full. So Krishna comes in the assembly, and he give his obeisance to Bhishma Dev, to Dronacharya, to Kripacharya, and then he said that respect is very important. So, man and maryada. So then he said, I am a peace messenger, and to avoid the war, to avoid the war and destruction for whole dynasty, it's better that we make peace in the two armies. So he said that I have one suggestion, that Pandavas give their rights back. So then Duryodhana said, Duryodhana was so much because he thought he is the Yuvraj, he is the prince, and he has right to decide what has to be done. And the Dhritarashtra, Krishna is saying to the Dhritarashtra that you are the king, you should decide. And you know what is good and what is not good. You should understand that by war it will be destruction, and making peace is progress in the society, and people will be happy. It's your duty to make people happy, not unhappy. So, but Dhritarashtra was so attached to his son, Duryodhana, that he said, Duryodhana can decide because he's the now Yuvraj, he's the prince, so he has right to decide. So then Duryodhana said that I will not give Pandavas to Hastinapur, because this was his kingdom, they were staying there and ruling. So then Krishna says that, okay, if you don't want to give Hastinapur, then give five villages to each brother. Then they will rule and there will be peace in society. So then Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, they are all saying to Duryodhana, Duryodhana, understand, please, give them 5 villages and stop this disaster of war. And but then Duryodhana did not accept anybody's advice. And he said to Krishna that what to speak of 5 villages, I will not give the Pandavas a land which holds the pin, top of this pin, head of the pin. Even that much place I will not give. So then Krishna says, I try to make peace, and but as you know that Pandavas have undergone so much adharma. You have been cheated, Pandavas. And Duryodhana said, no, in the gambling, you took everything from Pandavas. So Duryodhana said, no, actually, he played the game and he lose himself. And so it is his fault. It's not. But then Krishna said, but you did by in a crooked way, you cheated them. So then Duryodhana agreed not to give a drop of land for the Pandavas. So then Krishna says, then there will be a war. And then Duryodhana said, war, we fight, I want war. No. And then Krishna says, Krishna has tried his best not to have war. So in this modern society you can see there are kings who are not real kings. They are just, and want to have for themselves. There are so many everywhere wars and people are so suffering so much. Now there is war in Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine are fighting because actually it's one country actually. It's one country. But now they have separated and now they are fighting for the political reasons. There is nothing to do with kindness, nothing to do with protecting citizens, nothing to do with keeping peace in the society. So it's only meant for, for greediness. No? And it's for me, I want, it's mine. So, yes, the modern government, the modern leaders don't see safety for the people, don't see dharma, to protect their dharma, to avoid unnecessary wars. Even weapons are always made to give it to other countries that they can fight with other countries. And so much money is being wasted and they get so much they sell the weapons to other countries. They get so much money from that. And it's nothing to do with knowledge, nothing to do with protecting the citizens, nothing to make the society happy, to protect the dharma. No? So here, then Krishna came back and he said, Duryodhana don't agree, and Dhritarashtra is so, he don't fulfill his duty as a king. No? And Krishna said that you are the king, you have to decide, not Duryodhana. So the Dhritarashtra was very weak to go against Duryodhana because it is his son and he loved his son very much. Even when Duryodhana was born, Vidur, they were so bad arms, bad arms like the jackals were screaming and so different signs were there that this person who has taken birth will destroy the society, destroy the whole Bharatvarsh. And so Vidur advised the Dhritarashtra to give up his son, but he was so attached that he didn't hear Vidur's words. He didn't accept anything. So then, what verse we read is that then the two armies went to the Kurukshetra, Dharma-Kshetra, Kurukshetra. So this is the land of Dharma. It's a big, huge Kshetra in India. If you go, there is also a temple of Krishna sitting on a chariot and Arjuna is, and Krishna is the charioteer of Arjuna's chariot. Yeah. So then the two parties came, and then Arjuna said to Krishna that please bring my chariot in middle of two armies, that I see who has come to fight with me. So in the Mahabharata, one person's history is very, very considered. This is Karna. Karna is the son of sun god. No? So what happened is that his story is very special in Mahabharata. How he's born and what happens to him. That Karna was, Mother Kunti, she was small in age, and she was living in the kingdom of Kunti, the king of Boj, Konteya. That's why her name was Konteya also, Kunti, and Arjun's name was Konteya. So she was a young girl, and Durvasa Muni came to her kingdom, and he came to the palace, and Mother Kunti was a young girl, and she started to serve him. And Durvasa Muni became very pleased with her service, so he stayed few days in the palace, and Mother Kunti was cooking for him and feeding him, and this way Durvasa Muni was giving him her knowledge, and she was listening, and so it was going very nice, and Durvasa Muni was very pleased with her service. So he stayed few days, and then when he was leaving, he said, "I'm very pleased with your service, and I give you one boon. And I will give you one mantra. By this mantra, you can call any demigod and have children." Because Durvasa Muni knew that later some disaster will happen, and Kunti will not have any children, and with this mantra she can get the children. No? So then the mantra was given to her, and she summarized the mantra, and Durvasa Muni blessed her, and he left. So, curiosity, we are always curious of different things. No? So she was sitting in her room, and she was thinking. She got very curiosity, that she was thinking that, is it true that if I chant this mantra, demigod can come from the heavenly planets? So she thought of testing this mantra. So then it was like sunrise in the morning, and she always gives water to sun god. She was worshipping sun god. And at that time this idea came to her. And she thought, let me chant this mantra and call Suryadev. So she chanted the mantra, and she went and just put her plate away, and she was not 100% that this mantra will call the demigod Suryadev, but this mantra worked, and Suryadev came. And Suryadev said, "Kunti, you have called me?" Yes, I called you, but I just wanted to see if this mantra is working or not. Please go back. It's all fine. I'm afraid. Please go back. And sun god said, "No, I cannot go just like that. I cannot just rectify the mantra. So you chanted mantra, so you must get the result for the mantra. So you will get a son." And I said, "What, son? I'm not married, I'm just a young girl. And what the society, how can I tell the society that I have a child? It's not possible, please go back. You will ruin my life." And then the sun god said, "No, it's not possible. You must receive a son from me." And then she did just, and the son, a small baby was in her hand already. And that is Karna. And sun god said, his name is Karna, and he will be very, very powerful child, and very, very He will give charity, and he will call as Karna, the who gives charity to the people, Daneshwar. No? And he was born with kavacha and earrings. And this kavacha was the protector for him. And then sun god said, that's it, I did my service. The mantra has been worked, now I'm going. Now this here small girl, she has a child, what to do? The society will not accept her. A small child with a baby, she's not married even. So then she got a basket, and she put a child, and she covered it, and went to the Ganga, and put the basket in the Ganga, and she went back. So then on opposite side of the river, there was one family living, Adirath. Now he was a charioteer of Dhritarashtra, and they didn't have any children. And the wife was always suffering that, oh, I don't have a child. So they heard the crying of a baby. So they quickly went and got the baby. And the wife was very happy that she has a small baby. And they brought this child up. And then Karna, the father is a chariot, so he has to learn to become a charioteer. But he said to his father, no, I'm not going to learn about the chariot and ride the chariot all my life. I want to become a warrior. I want to learn the Astra, Sastra. And the father said, my dear son, who will teach you all this knowledge of Astras? You are my son, it's only for Kshatriyas. You are not a Kshatriya. And Karna said, no, doesn't matter. So he went to Dronacharya. His father took him to Dronacharya, Karna, and said, here is my son, and he wants to learn how to work with weapons. And Dronacharya said, I'm sorry, I teach only Kshatriyas. And sorry. So then Karna, he was hurt, he came back home, and then he was just sitting and thinking what to do. And then one Brahmana came. And he was asking alms for every house, so he came to there. And he said, Karna was sitting outside. He said, please can you little alms for me? A small bowl he had. And Karna said, wait a minute. So he went in the house and get a big bowl of grains and gave it to the Brahmana. And Brahmana said, oh my dear child, I asked you for little grains, but now you give me such a big bowl of grains. And then Karna said, I cannot give a little thing to you. You are Brahmana. I have to always give a big amount. So then this Brahmana was very happy, and he granted him blessings that from today you will be known as Danesh, the one who gives dan, charity. You will be known as a charity-giving person. That's why Karna means charity. Early in the morning, he takes bath, and at that time, whoever comes, he gives them. So this was his sadhana every day. So then Karna thought, now Dronacharya is not going to teach me, so he thought, I go to Parshuram. So he went to Parshuram, and Parshuram has a vow not to teach to Kshatriyas. And Karna, he don't know that he's a Kshatriya putra. No? He thought he's a Shudra, charioteer. So he said to Parshuram that I am the son of charioteer and I want to learn the astras. And Parshuram said, okay, I will teach you, because you are not Kshatriya. Yeah? So then he started to teach him. Slowly, slowly, Karna became young man, and it was his last day for learning. So his spiritual master Parshuram Karna was sitting, and Parshuram put his head on his lap and fall to sleep. So then Karna kept very still that his spiritual master don't get disturbed from his sleep. Yeah? But then what happened? What happened is that one poisonous spider, as Parshuram was sitting, he went under and he started to bite the thigh of Karna. And he started to bite him, and blood was coming out, and he was eating his blood and flesh and making big hole, and Karna he had so much pain, but he didn't move because his spiritual master is sleeping on his lap. He didn't want to disturb him. So blood was started to flow, and blood is warm, no? So here is the head of Parshuram, and he's sleeping, his head like this, his nose is like that, and the blood is flowing like that. So he smelled, while he was sleeping deep, he smelled the blood. So he woke up. Okay, what's going on? And he saw blood. And he saw this spider on the thigh of Karna. He quickly put him away. And he said to Karna, why you don't protect yourself? Why you don't put this poison spider away? And Karna said, my spiritual master, I didn't want to disturb your sleep. And Parshuram said, you are a Kshatriya. You lied from me, you cheated me. Because no Brahmana, nobody can tolerate so much pain. Only Kshatriya can tolerate so much pain. So I curse you. That when you need the knowledge of the Shastra, you will forget the mantras. Because usually when you want to some mantra, they chant mantra, and the Shastra, the weapon comes in your hand, and then you fight like Agni Astra, Vayu Astra. Now they come by chanting mantras. So they learn mantras. And by this, they get all the weapons. Nowadays, they make weapons which are terrible weapons to destroy whole city, Yeah. So then he got the curse. The day he is supposed to get the blessings from the spiritual master, he got the curse. And he said to Parshuram that I don't know what who am I don't know. I thought I am a Sutta Putra, and you teach me Shastra, now I am being not blessed by you. So Parshuram said, just go. Because Parshuram devastated 20 times Kshatriyas. No? He killed Kshatriyas like 20 times because the Kshatriyas were not doing their duty. They forgot that they were harassing society, they were plundering citizens, they were misusing their powers, so Kshatriya was killing them. So then Karna came back. He came to Hastinapur, and there was a big festival happening in Hastinapur, because the 5 Pandavas and the Kauravas, they were in Gurukul of Dronacharya. No? So this was their test day. So the big assembly was made, and everybody, all the princes, they were showing their talent. And at that time, Karna came. And then Yudhishthir, Bhim, Nakul, Sahadev, Duryodhana, everybody showed their what they have learned, Duryodhana, Bhima. Now comes the Arjuna's time. He's supposed to show how the weapons work, like when he called Vayu Astra. Haronic, this wind, what do you call it?
Tornado?
Tornado happens. Yeah. Then, so he has to show what he has learned. And at that time, Karna is coming. And Dronacharya is going to say, he's speaking, and he said, in the whole world, nobody is in Shastra greater than Arjuna. And there, at that time, Karna is coming. And he said, wait a minute, I can also learn the weapons. So we can have a competition. Then you can decide. So then the competition is Vayu, like Arjuna make the Astra of Vayu, then Karna also makes like the Astra of rain, all these different astras, they were doing same thing, yeah. And then at that time, the news came to the father of Karna, and the father became so happy, so he ran, he came, and he said, my dear Karna, he addressed him, and then my son, and then at that time Duryodhana said, Bhima said, Arjun, come back, you don't have to now make more show, because he's the son of charioteer. He's not Kshatriya. So then at that time, Duryodhana thought he will be my good friend. He knows so much, he's like second Arjun. Yeah? So if he will be in my party, I have somebody who is very powerful, and so at that time Duryodhana said, it's not proper to, anybody can learn weapons, anybody can learn this knowledge, not only Kshatriya, so it's not proper to insult him that he's not a Kshatriya. So just from now on, I make him the king of Angar. He will be known as Angaraj. I give the kingdom of Angadesh. So he's Kshatriya again. He's a Kshatriya now. So like that, Duryodhana brought Karna on his side. And so from that time, Karna became in debt to Duryodhana. He was a very dharmic person. He was very, very knowledgeable, because he has Mother Kunti is the mother, and the sun god is the father. So he was just not an ordinary child. But because of this Duryodhana's favor, he became in debt to Duryodhana. And that's why he was on the side of Duryodhana. Yeah? And then then what happened is that, yes, he became the king of Anga Desh, and then, and then war. Before the war starts, because Bhishma Dev, he knew that he is the son of Kunti. And so, when they came in Kurukshetra, in the war, Bhishma Dev said to Duryodhana that as long as I am the commander of the chief, Karna is not going to fight under my flag. So then Karna was not allowed to fight until Bhishma Dev left his body, until he was lying on the air of the beds. No? And Kunti, Mother Kunti, she recognized that this is my son when he was in the arena in Hastinapur when they were making this festival. And she immediately, because he was born with Kavach, and this Kavach was sun god. The armor was sun god. So he knew immediately, and the kundal means earrings, and Mother Kunti recognized his son, and she was feeling so bad about that, but she could not say that you are my son, because it's not possible now. Yeah. And then that's why Bhishma Dev, because he wanted to save Karna from fighting from Pandavas, because they are two brothers, they are brothers. One mother and brothers fighting, so Bhishma Dev didn't allow Karna to fight for a few days. They were the fight was for 18 days, and 8 days was Bhishma Dev fighting. For 8 days, Karna was sitting in the tent and waiting for his turn. No? He couldn't fight. And then what happened is that the Duryodhana, on the 7th day, Duryodhana came to Bhishma Dev and said, he was saying to Bhishma Dev that you are not fighting for me, you are fighting for the Pandavas because you love them, you don't want to kill them, and you are not protecting my armies are finishing, he's killing Arjun and Bhima, they are killing my armies so much, and you are on the side of Pandavas. One side you are on my army, but you are in the heart, you are side of Pandavas. Like this, he was accusing Bhishma Dev. And Bhishma Dev got very angry. And he said, tomorrow I will kill all the Pandavas and give you the victory. And then Mother Kunti, in the evening, came to... this is another story. Krishna, Krishna knew everything, so what he did in the evening, Bhishma Dev was sitting in his tent, and Krishna came to Pandavas, because Draupadi was also in the Kurukshetra, in the one tent. Draupadi was with her Dasis. She was not in Hastinapur, she was, because she was waiting that Bhima kills Dushasan, and she can wash her hair with her Dushasan's blood. So she was in the tent in the army. It's too quick? I'm speaking too quick? Okay. And then, it's time, so... And then what happened is that Krishna said to Draupadi, you come with me. We have to go somewhere. Draupadi said, okay, Krishna. Because Draupadi is Sakhi of Krishna. Yeah? Sakhi means friend of Krishna. And Draupadi went with Krishna, yeah. And then they came at the tent of Bhishma Deva. And then Krishna said to Draupadi, you go in the tent of Bhishma Deva and ask for blessings. And the blessings are like that, akhanda sobhagyavati, like, girls, when the ladies are married, this is the blessings they give, always remain married. Huh? This is the blessings the married women gets from the people. So then Bhishma, they were sitting in the tent and Draupadi is coming. And Bhishma Dev thought, because he said to Duryodhana, send your wife to me, I will give her blessings of akhanda sobhagyavati. Means your husband will not die. Yeah? He will be always married. So Bhishma Dev thought is the Duryodhana's wife. But it was Draupadi. And he just heard the ankle bell and some ladies coming. So he gave the blessings to Draupadi. All the blessings. And then later, when he saw this, Draupadi, what are you doing here? And then Bhishma Deva understood, this is Krishna. He did that. So, yes, this, and the next day, there was a war. Yeah? And then Bhishma Deva Arjuna has to fight with Bhishma Deva. Yeah? And Bhishma Deva had a vow, if any woman comes in front of him in the battlefield, he will not fight. And this is another story with Amba. Amba was a lady, she is another story. So this Amba had she wanted that Bhishma dies because of her. Yeah. So Krishna arranged that Amba is in the chariot of Arjuna. Yeah. And Amba was man, but he was not man, he was a lady. And he was in the chariot of Arjuna. And Krishna, Bhishma Dev came in front of Arjuna's chariot and he saw Amba. I said, Arjuna, why you have woman in your chariot? You know I don't fight when there is a woman. So he let his weapon. And at that time Krishna said, shoot! And he shot Bhishma Dev. Arrows after arrows after arrows. Because Bhishma Dev has a blessing, is from his father. He can die when he wants. So he will not die. So Arjuna put him on the bed of arrows. And still he was alive. Until he left his body when war was over and Yudhishthira became the king. Then he left his body in front of Krishna. Yeah. And when he was lying in the bed, Krishna came and Krishna took all his pain away. So he didn't have pain. He was lying in the bed, but he didn't have pain. For like 8-9 days, he was lying in the bed. So now we finished the story of Karna. So what happened is in the battlefield, then Kunti went to Karna, because Karna he wanted to kill Pandavas. When Bhishma Dev lay on the chariot, the arrow of the bat, then come the Dronacharya. When Dronacharya left, then come the Karna as a commander-in-chief. And then Mother Kunti went to Karna and said that you are my son and Pandavas are your brother, and you stop this commander-in-chief and come to Yudhishthir's army. And Karna said, Krishna already, because Krishna told, before war starts, Krishna told Karna everything, who he was, his birth, this is another, before war starts, Krishna took Karna and they went for a chariot ride. And Krishna told Karna that you are not Sutaputra, you are Kaunteya. And so you should come on the side of Pandavas and fight for them. And Karna said, thank you for letting me know. Why you tell me now? Why didn't you tell me earlier? But now I cannot do that because I am in debt to Duryodhana. So even if I go on the party of Pandavas, because I am the elder, if we win the battlefield, become victorious, because I am in debt to Duryodhana, I will give the kingdom to Duryodhana, and it will be injustice. So I will be on the side of Duryodhana. So he knew everything. Krishna told him, but because of his words, he gave word to Duryodhana. He kept his word and fought on the side of Duryodhana. So then Mother Kunti came, said, Krishna told me. And Kunti said, come on the side of Pandavas. No, mother, I cannot come because then I will give the kingdom to Duryodhana and this is injustice. But I promise you, I will not accept Arjun. I will not kill your sons, like Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakul and Satya. But for Arjun I don't say. If Arjun dies, still you have 5 sons. If I die, you will receive 5 sons. So this was the promise of Karna. In Mahabharata, Karna's role is so powerful. He was such a powerful person, a very justice person, very charitable person, and his role in Mahabharata is so good. Even Mother Kunti didn't tell anybody, and Karna left his body in the battlefield, and then he told Yudhishthira that he's your brother. And Yudhishthira got very angry with the mother. He said, you are the cause of my brother's death, my elder brother. So I curse womanhood. They can never keep secrets. So, Jai.
That's the moral of the whole story.
So this is how, Krishna played a good part in Mahabharata. He was protecting Arjuna, and Karna left his body, and even Krishna told him that you are Kaunteya. Still, he said, no, I have to. I like Bhishma, they also fought on the side of Duryodhana because he gave his vow to his father. So, in Vedic times, vows were very, very powerful.